Hello, hello, my friends. I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to spring, including yours truly. And in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you the spring and summer collection from Kringle Candle. Huge thank you to them. They did send these candles over to me in PR for me to preview with all of you guys. And you guys, I just have to tell you, the 2024 spring collection was really good. I'm going to be honest with that. But I'm going to say that last night after I got these in and I unboxed them and I was smelling them, and I keep going back and smelling them. So these are not my genuine first sniff impressions. These are my cold sniff impressions because I haven't burned them yet. I have to tell you guys, I am actually excited to burn every single one of these. There is not one in this bunch that I'm kind of like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know about that one. You know, sometimes I get some of these candles in PR and I'll tell you guys, I don't like this one on cold. But all 6 of these, you guys, I am on board with. And you guys might be really surprised at the end when I rank these candles just which one might be my favorite. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing if you are new. I will make sure that I have all of these candles listed in the description box down below with timestamps, all of their respective fragrance notes, so that way you can refer back to them in this video. So here's the info you need to know before we get into sniffing. As you guys have probably heard from a variety of Kringle ambassadors, by this point, this collection will be launching on Thursday, March 5th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is also a Spring Reserve collection that will be launching at that same time. The candles were sent out in 2 different boxes, so I am receiving those ones as well. But I will tell you guys that my cold sniffs on those will probably be a little bit closer to the launch date, just because I believe that those are just being shipped out right now. You guys know I'm in Arizona, a little bit of a distance from Massachusetts, so things take a little bit longer to get over here, but I will make sure to give you guys cold sniff impressions of those. The 6 candles that I'm talking about today will be available in the large 2-wick tumbler format that I am showing you guys in this video. These will retail for $31. 22 ounces of 100% soy wax. They will also be available in their 4-wick format, which I believe is that 32 ounces? Are those 32 ounces? I believe that they are. Those retail for $45, and they will also be available in daylights and wax melts. So I know a lot of people usually, I really like when they give those daylights and wax melts because it gives people an idea of what the fragrance might smell like without having to invest too much money into it up front. Let's see, other information that you might want to know. Obviously, I don't think these will be on sale right at launch. Keep in mind, you guys, these candles these are not limited edition. These are part of like their kind of like, they usually launch, you know, a spring and summer collection, a fall collection, and then usually like a holiday collection. And the ones that I think sell well usually just kind of stick around in the regular Kringle rotation. So please don't feel like you need to rush out and buy these right at launch. You have time to listen to reviews, which you guys know if you've been on my channel, I am going to do my very, very best to develop some post-burn thoughts for you guys and share them with you prior to the launch. At the time that I'm filming this, I have a little under 2 weeks until launch time. So I think that does give me enough time to at least get about 15 to 20 hours of burn time in on each of these and put some thoughts together. I know that I did kind of like a collective video for the Easter launch. And I'll probably do that again for this collection for you guys. So as always, I'll be giving you some post-burn thoughts. I do have an affiliate discount code with Kringle. It's Katie15. It will save you 15% off of your purchase if you choose to, you know, go with this collection or maybe throw in some Easter candles. I think most of those are still in stock, or the reserve fragrances. So lots of things going on, a lot of stuff that you guys are already familiar with, but let's go ahead and not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and talk about these candles because I'm pretty excited, and I know a lot of people I've seen in the community are quite excited too. Okay, we are going to start out with strawberries and cream. Now, I am also going to address, because I've seen some people talk about this in the Facebook group. I've also seen some of my fellow ambassadors talk about this. These candles, they're a little bit oily. They're a little bit oily here upon delivery. I did inquire with Mick about what is going on with that, and he said that they have been recently putting more fragrance oils, like topping them off at the end of the pours. And while that's been fine once they're done in the factory and the warehouse, something has happened when they went to ship the candles that I think it has something to do with the colder air temperatures being that this is winter time still. The colder air temperatures, and I don't know, it had something to do with the air temperatures, is bringing a lot of those oils to life. They are seeping out everywhere. So be a little bit careful about these if you do order them when they arrive. Now, I will tell you guys that even today, these have a little bit of oil still on the top, but they are not as oily as when they showed up on my door yesterday. So one of the things I will even tell you is to let them sit a little bit longer and the oils will reabsorb. Or I also found with like my caramel meringues candle, it had a lot of oil on it. And when I burned it once, and then after that, it wasn't an issue. So, you know, just be aware, be aware. Some of them might be oily. And this is one that, this was probably the oiliest of the bunch yesterday. Strawberries and cream. We have fragrance notes here of strawberry, whipped cream, orange, rose, vanilla, cooked sugar, and musk. And yes, all of these look like they have pour dates of January 22nd, 2026. So I'm going to carefully pull this off because, oh goodness, because yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you probably can't see it. Maybe in the B-roll you'll see how oily this one is. So I'm trying to be cautious. See, I already got some oil on my finger from the gasket here. Okay, this one to me, you guys, I like it. Again, there's not any in here that I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to burn these. I'm very curious to smell what this one's going to do on upon burn. So on cold, what my nose is detecting is kind of like a it's kind of more, it's not as much of like an artificial strawberry as I would say I was detecting in bunny hop. I get some vanilla in here, but it sounds kind of funny. I get the sweetness of a citrus. And a little bit of muskiness there in the back. It's not perfumey musky. There is like a crystallized sugar thing going on in this as well to my nose. Like when I'm smelling this, that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe a hint, very, very hint of rose in there. But this is not a candle that I'm sticking my nose into and being like, oh, there's rose. But this to me is almost, in some ways, it sounds funny. It smells a little bit like the strawberry note that's used in Juicy Strawberry without all of the green notes that accompany their Juicy Strawberry Reserve fragrance. It's the same strawberry to my nose. Again, but there's that crystallized sugar element that's giving it a little bit more. It's making me think of more of like a kind of like a artificial candied type of strawberry, but I don't think it's that the strawberry note itself is artificial. I think it's the addition of the like the crystallized sugar in there. But yeah, there's a little bit of orange. And I wouldn't say that this is overly creamy. Like I don't get anything super lactonic. I'm going to put the lid back on there, you guys, because I just don't want those oils getting everywhere. Yeah, strawberry whipped cream, like a cooked sugar. Yeah, there's something about this one. It's kind of a little bit hard to describe. I think a lot of people are going to like it, but it's not like a strawberry cake or anything like that. I'm sitting here trying to wipe off this oil off of my thumb, but I like it. I like it. Is it a love? I don't know. It might be upon burn. All right, the next fragrance is Wild Lavender and Blueberry. Now, I know a lot of people are pretty excited about this one. So this candle is less oily. I'm just gonna let you guys know. Fragrance notes are lavender, blueberry, floral, vanilla, and sweet. This one has a pour date of January 12th, 2026. Okay, this one to me, you guys, this is how would I describe this? This is not the same blueberry note that was in Blueberry Milkshake. The blueberry note in here, I feel like is a little bit more in line with the blueberry note that I get in their Blueberry Muffin candle, if you've ever had that fragrance. And the lavender I do smell in here, but the lavender is more, it's not astringent or pungent or really like true aromatherapy lavender, if that makes sense. It complements the blueberry very nicely. This is not a gourmand to my nose. I don't get anything like gourmand about it. Lavender, blueberry, floral. There is something almost slightly floral in it. It's sweet. It's pretty. I do like this. It's a pretty fragrance. It's definitely one that, like, if I were to walk into a store and pick it up and sniff it, I would go back and keep sniffing it because I would be intrigued enough by it. It's not overly lavender, but it's not blueberry in like that candied gourmand blueberry that I think a lot of people typically think of when you see a blueberry scented candle. Like, it's not like Double Dip Danish from Caramel Sundays. And again, it's not even like their blueberry milkshake, which is more like a blueberry pie. That's more of like a blueberry filling. This falls more in line with like an actual, well, they don't really have much of a fragrance note, but like if you think of like an actual fresh blueberry and it's just kind of like busted open because it's been warmed up, that's what I smell here more than it being like a sugared gourmand candied type of blueberry. But yeah, that lavender is there as well. It's pretty. Like, this is a pretty take on a fruity type of fragrance. And again, the lavender is not overly like smack you in the face lavender to my nose. It's more of like a softer type of lavender fragrance. So let's see. The next scent here is lemon drop cookies. I know a lot of people, I think, are really excited about this one because, again, it is a gourmand. This one also has got a little bit of oils going on at the top. Fragrance notes of lemon zest, lemon, cookie batter, cream, butter, vanilla, sugar. This has a pour date of January 12th, 2026. And let's see here, you guys. Okay, I'm going to tell you the lemon note that I get in here, it's the same lemon note that they're using in lemon sugar marshmallow and cosmic cupcakes. It's that same like very sweet, almost tart, vibrant. It's like a lemon zest more than it is like a overly sugary like lemonade type of lemon scent. It's definitely like a lemon zest. That is the note that I get front and center here. But there is something in the background of this. I was actually telling Cody last night, you know, what they have pictured here is actually kind of what this reminds me of. I don't know if any of you guys, I don't even know if they sell these anymore. My mom used to love these packaged cookies called lemon coolers. And, you know, like you would eat them and then there was a little bit, they had like a powdered sugar coating on it, but it almost had kind of like a cooling effect. Who knows? Who knows what chemicals were in that? That's kind of, it's the cookie, like when I'm smelling this, I'm envisioning biting into that, the cookie aspect of that lemon cookie. So I've never had actual lemon drop cookies, but if I did, I feel like this, what I'm smelling, I have like a scent memory tied to those lemon coolers. And again, it's not the cooling like coating that I'm smelling in here. It's the actual taste of the lemon cookie. That is what I'm smelling here. It's not overly like sweet and sugary, but it does definitely remind me of a cookie. It's not a cake. It's not even the, I would say the difference between this and lemon sugar marshmallow reminds me more of like the lemon curd element that would be on like say a lemon bar. Whereas this is more, there's like a cookie thing going on in the background. So I like this one. Again, you guys know I love a good lemon gourmand. So we'll see. We'll see how this one turns out for me. Okay, here's the one that I think a lot of people might be wanting some thoughts about because I see the label on this and the label looks very, very similar to the country candle in 2025. There was a candle called Mandarin Petals, and that had a very polarizing effect in the Kringle community. Some people absolutely loved it, and other people were like, whoa, Nelly, the Neroli in that candle was too much. So citrus blossom and honey. Is this a cousin to that? Let's talk about it. Fragrance notes are orange flower, mandarin, honeycomb, warm beeswax, ozone, sea salt, neroli, and musk. All right, you guys. I like this a lot. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you guys. It is not as smack you in the face neroli forward as that Mandarin Petals. This is a different fragrance. I've also seen some people ask, like, how does this compare to Easter Petals from last year, which I actually have one of those still in my collection. I've been burning it recently. I love that scent, but even that one I'm going to tell you guys is more neroli heavy. Neroli tends to be a little bit more pungent, I would say, to the nose. I do like neroli, but neroli is a common note that you'll find in like sunscreeny fragrances. It almost comes across a little bit more musky, I would say. And this is more orange blossom. This is more of a true orange blossom as opposed to a neroli fragrance. I feel like they're cousins to each other, but orange blossom is slightly sweeter. It's not as musky. It's not as perfumey, I feel like. It's still a beautiful floral. It's slightly sweet. If you live in regions of the country, like I'm here in Arizona or like say Florida or California, where there's a lot of citrus groves where they grow a lot of oranges, then you would probably be familiar with what an orange blossom smells like in, I would say like springtime. It's usually like March is when I start to smell the orange blossoms. We have quite a few people who have citrus trees around us, so I love taking walks through the neighborhood and smelling that. Oh, it's so good. Okay, but here's the other thing I'm going to tell you guys. I get, maybe it smells a little bit like honey, but I think it's more the beeswax that I'm getting. When I smelled this, you know what I instantly thought of? Last Halloween in the Spellbound collection, they had a fragrance called, I think it was called Abundant Blessings. It was in those, they were kind of like new agey type of packaging. And the Abundant Blessings, I remembered smelling that and burning it and being like, ooh, this is a beautiful fragrance. It felt a little out of place for me for fall, but I remembered thinking, I hope that they bring this fragrance into the spring lineup. And I am going to tell you guys that I'm not going to say that this is a repackage of that, but this is a very close sibling to Abundant Blessings. So if you had Abundant Blessings last year in that Spellbound collection and you liked it, get this, because they're siblings. They are definitely very, very close. Yeah, it's a beautiful orange blossom. Again, this one's not too terribly oily for me, so I can tip it over here. Ozone sea salt. There is a little bit of like a sea salt accord going on, like a sea air. There was a Bath and Body Works candle a couple of years ago. I don't know if they still make it, because you guys know I don't really shop from Bath and Body Works a whole lot. I want to say it was it called like sea salt and neroli or something like that. I want to say it was about 3 years ago now at this point. I remembered having it in my collection and actually really, really enjoying that fragrance. If you liked that one, if any of you guys know exactly what fragrance I'm talking about, or if I have a picture of it, I'll insert it somewhere up here. But kind of gives me those vibes too, but I think this is done a little bit better. I would just say closest comparison is Abundant Blessings from the Spellbound collection last year. I like this one quite a bit. I'm very, very excited about it. Okay, the next one that I wanted to talk about, salted coconut. I think a lot of people are probably going to be intrigued by this one as well. This one is also quite oily. I will let you guys know. The fragrance notes are sea salt, coconut, cream, clove, vanilla, driftwood, sandalwood, and musk. Fragrance pour date on this is January 12th, 2026. And again, I'm going to try, woo, this one, she oily. She is very, very oily. Woo, okay. I like this. This is a very pretty coconut type of scent. Is it different than Sea Breeze? Yes. This, I get those woody accords in here, kind of that driftwood and sandalwood, more so than cedarwood. Did they say cedarwood was in here? No, there's no cedarwood. Yeah. Driftwood and sandalwood. It is different. Because you guys know, it's funny. I have a love-hate relationship with a cedarwood note with Kringle. Some fragrances it works well for me, but the minute you mix cedarwood with patchouli, I just need to learn my lesson that it's not for me. But I like this. The driftwood, it's a coconut scent, but it's not the coconut of Sea Breeze. It's not gourmand coconut. Like it's not the coconut pineapple, which I like that scent, and I like coconut colada. Like I can go for your like sugary, sweet cocktail type of coconut, but this is more sophisticated type of coconut. Almost, I would say, of the 6 candles that I have here, if you're somebody who likes what most people would consider to be traditionally quote unquote masculine types of fragrances, I think that you would like this. Yeah, this is beautiful. If you liked, you know what this kind of gives me the same vibes as? Harry Slatkin, I want to say it was like 3 years ago now, he had a collection in his Homeworks lineup called Postcards from Harry, and there were a lot of fragrances in there that just reminded me of like being in like what I would envision like high-end resorts to smell like in like places like St. Bart's, or I think he had one like Palm Beach. He had one for Santorini. I think like places like that. That's what this smells like to me. This smells very luxurious, very high end, very sophisticated. I like this one a lot. Yeah, it's very, very well done. Very pretty. Yeah, definitely a coconut vibe. Am I getting a ton of sea salt in there? Maybe not. But it's mainly those wood notes that are based. And even, it sounds funny, I smell a little bit of clove in here, but it's not. The clove, I think, is lending some warmth to this, as opposed to it being like, oh, we need a bunch of spice and bakery. Not like that. The clove is adding a little bit of warmth that's complementing those wood notes. And then the coconut note is just like freshly grated type of coconut. It's beautiful. I think if you liked Homeworks' warm vanilla coconut, which I liked last year, if you tend to like fragrances like vanilla coconut surf at Bath and Body Works, I think that you'll like this one. This one leans a little bit more wood heavy on the notes, but again, very, very well done. Ooh, don't let that slip out of my hands. That one is super, super oily. Oh my goodness, I should have brought a paper towel. You guys can't even see, like, I've got oil on my hands here. So just be aware, if you get some of these candles, you might be getting like a personal fragrance as well as a candle all in one. Okay, and the last fragrance that I wanted to talk about is sun-dried linen, which honestly, you guys, this is the one that made me a little bit nervous, because you all know I'm typically not really a fan of these like fresh, I mean, look, the picture implies this is going to be like a fresh laundry type of scent, and typically those kind of give me a headache. But the fragrance notes are sun-dried linen, fresh cotton, apple blossom, marine accord, white orchid, cedarwood, clean musk. Pour date of January 22nd, 2026. This one's slightly oily. It's like the mama bear of oiliness. It's not like strawberries and cream and the salted coconut, but okay. This is very pretty. I actually like this a lot more on cold sniff than I thought I would. Now, I am going to tell you, I get some of that cotton note on the top here, and I smell the apple blossom. The apple blossom is very pretty in here. Much like I liked the apple blossom note that was in, was it Petalcraft in their Easter collection? Yeah, that's kind of like the same apple blossom note that I'm smelling here, but it's mixed with more of like a cotton note. There's something about this that is just very fresh without it being like that headache-inducing heavy cotton type of fragrance. Do I smell a cotton note in here? Yes. And again, I am going to tell you, it still does make me a little bit nervous, because I do tend, for whatever reason, those can give me a headache or come across a little bit cloying to me. I know that sounds funny. I know people normally think of gourmands as being cloying, but yeah. What else is in here? Yeah, it's the apple blossom, the cotton. I don't get a ton of cedarwood in here, the white orchid, and marine accord. Like there's nothing, it doesn't make me think of like beachy when I think of a marine accord. But this just smells, it smells very fresh and clean without it being like your stereotypical household laundry cleaners. It's obviously like, it's not a strong lemon or anything like that, like you would get, say, in Rosemary Lemon or their, what was the one? Was it Lemon Splash? I don't think that's what it was called. They had a reserve candle last year. But this is pretty. Like I keep smelling it. I'm like, I actually think, you know what's funny? I was smelling this and I was thinking, I know it's not another Kringle candle, but I was actually thinking this is going to pair really nicely alongside Caramel Sunday's Spring Market. I think that the two are going to complement each other really well, because that has like a really fresh, like green apple note in it mixed with some citrus. And I feel like this one's going to go really nicely with that. Yeah, but for those of you guys who like those freshy types of scents, if you tend to like clean laundry scents, this is going to be the one for you. Now, last year they had a fragrance that leaned a little bit too laundry-like for me. I think it was like sea salt and bergamot. I was like, absolutely not. Remember last year, you guys, they had a love affair with bergamot and neroli, and I think a lot of people were like, a little too much. But this year's collection, you guys, I am quite happy with. So if we are going to rank these like 1 through 6, I am going to say, I think, let me sniff these again. Okay. I am going to say, oh, this is kind of hard. Okay, coming in at number 6, I think I'm going to put Wild Lavender and Blueberry at 6. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this one at 6, Strawberries and Cream at 5. Lemon drop cookies, I think at 4, which might surprise some of you guys. Number 3, I think I'm going to do the sun-dried linen. Number 2 is, ooh, this is hard. Number 2, I think is going to be salted coconut. And my number 1 right now that I'm loving on cold is the citrus blossom and honey. And this is probably partially due to the fact that like we are approaching spring, and this is just one of my favorite types of fragrances that I smell when I'm walking around, and it makes me think of springtime. So those are the 6. Like I said, they will be launching on March 5th. Again, I will plan to do some post burns. In fact, as soon as I get done filming today, I am planning to extinguish the candles that I currently have going and light at least 2 of these up to go ahead and get to burning and developing some thoughts for you guys. So I'm either going to have one collective video prior to the launch, or I will probably, or I could also break it into like 2 separate videos where I do 3 and 3 and let you guys know. But again, there's no hurry on these. These are not limited edition. You know, you do have time to not only hear my thoughts, but I do know that a lot of ambassadors did receive these. Like I mentioned in my Friday 5, 10 ambassadors get chosen every time they send out a new like PR for a new collection. So there's at least 10 ambassadors. And I do also know with this launch that they have opened up a pre-order for the for all of the ambassadors, even the ones who didn't receive PR. So there might be some ambassadors who didn't receive these in PR placing pre-orders, and they might get their hands on them prior to the launch and be tuning into what they might think of this collection as well. So lots of thoughts to go around, lots of time, you guys. There's no pressure or hurry to purchase these if you kind of want to sit back and wait for some reviews to come in. But yeah, I think I've made that point pretty clear. Did want to let you guys know again, I do have the last of my Valentine's like BOGO sale and the Easter collection, that the rest of the Easter collection that I had ordered. Those should be delivered. I have half of them here, and then the other half of that purchase, I should say, shall be here, I think, on Monday. So hopefully at some point next week, I will have another haul to share with you guys. So that way I can share my thoughts on some of the Easter candles that I was not sent in PR. I can give you my thoughts on those in case you might want to throw those into your basket when these go live. And then, like I said, prior to the launch, I'll make sure that I have a video up of my first sniffs or my cold sniff impressions of the reserve lineup. So again, lots of new, you guys. Remember, these are going to be sticking around. No rush. So anyways, you guys, let me know in the comment section down below which ones appeal to you the most. You know, let me know which ones do you really want to prioritize seeing post-burn reviews on first. Like I said, I'm going to do all 6 of them, but let me know which ones are you guys the most curious about, because that will help me, you know, when I'm putting my videos together. So I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.